Okay, welcome to an episode of First Use, and in today's video I'm going to go through the last quarter, the pivotal moments that unfolded between Gold Coast SUNS and Collingwood. What an outstanding game it was. And in this video I'm going to cover off some of the pivotal moments that happened in that last quarter. For Collingwood to come back, for them to come back in the second half was just simply outstanding. They changed their game style, they started going through the corridor a bit more, played attacking, free-flowing footy, and it just put the Gold Coast SUNS on the back foot. But to the Gold Coast SUNS' credit, and when you watch this video and the clips that I showed you, there was pivotal moments where they were challenged. And like previously, particularly the game when they played against the Giants, and the Giants got on a run in the last quarter, the SUNS were able to stop that momentum. They were able to get some really pivotal moments, particularly that Noah Anders clearance out of the centre bounce. But let's get in the clips and show you those pivotal moments that unfolded in that classic Friday night game. So, start of the last quarter, and they put this guy in the centre. What an unbelievable game. He nearly won the game for him. 16 possessions. This is Josh Daicos I'm referring to. 16 possessions, kicked 2, could have kicked 3, but just his work rate, get him in the centre. Put him and his brother in the centre, but he was just simply outstanding. And the ability to come off in this way, he got this. This was the first two centre bounce clearances of the last quarter. He got just his ability to cut through and then be clean. In this situation, shrugged the tackle, hands out, and Ned Long's kicking inside forward 50. So it was just brilliant play. So this was inside forward 50 for Collingwood. And just watch the effort of Josh Daicos in this particular moment. So the ball was in dispute, lays a great tackle, able to get it free, but then the ability to get up and be used. And this is such an amazing kick from Pendlebury. I mean, he's been doing it for 20 years, but just the awareness that. But just Josh Daicos he was on the ground in that passage of play. This is him here. Ability just to come in line with the kicker. Mark, another goal. So ability not only to stay involved in the play, but also then to be able to be in line with the kicker and the vision. Then here it is again on Rao. Just this running pattern to come through. Really clean below his knees, and just got them going, got the team going. His injection in the middle was simply brilliant. Just having the awareness to then be able to come through in great hands to get it out. Another centre bounce clearance from Josh Daicos. First half of that last quarter, they just had flow. They had run from behind. This is Collingwood. This is brilliant by Lachie Schultz. There's the ball to be won. Loose ball get. Has to put his head over the ball, has to run through it, and then just be able to, one, be clean, but also then be aware and then come through. Great hands. Josh Daicos again. And then to be able to identify the space for Elliott to run into. So really good synergy. But the first half, they were, and credit to the SUNS, they had a lot of pressure from in front and from behind. But that's really hard to sustain over a 4-quarter period, and that's what Collingwood knew that. And then they got their game running, particularly from behind. They're able to use the run from behind. Josh Daicos. So really good set play here, where they allowed quite a bit of space here for him to run into, but it could have been a number of players that would have run in here. So most clubs like to have the set play, so there's a little bit of a horseshoe and then create this space there. And this could have been for Elliott to come through. Lachie Schultz does this on occasion. Bobby Hill does this. But this is a really good set play. I love how they set this. You probably think that, I reckon, when they do the review here, I will want to see Mac Andrew come a bit central when the SUNS do their review. He sort of get a bit lost here in all this traffic, You sort of want him to be a bit more corridor, but it's a great set play. And he just comes through on pace. So if McAndrew's there, this free kick and this goal doesn't happen. So he's a bit skinny in that setup, but it's a really good running pattern. Great hit here from Cox, but it's just a wonderful set play with pace, free kick goal. So I love how they were attacking Collingwood. They were trying different things. They were getting on the move. They were trying to own the corridor. It was really awesome to watch, and they're just almost like they flicked the switch in the last quarter. This was brilliant. Watching it live, you could tell it was premeditated. It was on purpose. And what they love to do, Collingwood, is when they need to attack, they just go through the corridor. Watching it live last night, there was no one spreading out towards the boundary line. They're all gravitating towards the centre. When they do this, this is where they get numbers to the ball. But watch this kick from Quainer. It's brilliant. It's a check side. Look at that. Bang. So it's deliberate. That is completely deliberate to get it back into the corridor where all the numbers are. And as you'll see, no one is running towards the boundary line. They're all in the corridor. That's why they're able to get all the numbers in that area. So if I highlight it here, look, no one has led out this way. They're all in the corridor. So even though Quaino's coming out, normally you would have players leading out to the boundary line. That's why this is a great set. This is definitely on purpose. Ball goes in dispute. Daicos gets it. And because all the numbers are in the corridor, he's got options. So clears, gets it through. But look at all the numbers for Collingwood. So it's set up by that kick from Quainer. Awesome. It's just awesome to watch. And then they've got the spread from behind. And a great kick by Houston into space. Another goal. So the ability to have run from behind they just flicked the switch, Collingwood. That's why they're so dangerous. And that's why they're never out of any games, particularly when they're behind like they were against the Suns. But credit to the Suns. They lost the lead, been in the lead the whole night. But this is where they stood up. Their leaders stood up. So Rao, Noah Anderson in the centre. There's a great spoil by McAndrew. And there was a great tackle by Powell where they were running inside forward 50 for Collingwood. And I think this game was a coming of age of them, because there's been times this year where, particularly that Giants game, where they were up substantially at three-quarter time, and Giants kicked, I think it was 8-1 in the last quarter to overrun them. So this is great work by Noah Anderson. Set up as a sweeper role and played it really, really well. So he comes in, Cox, great tap, but then just gets a hand in there, and great hands. So centre bounce clearance, really good. That then goes inside forward 50, and Ben Long gets a free kick, kicks a goal. So this is the next play, and this is the one you've probably seen quite a lot. So when I've mentioned this before, when both rucks are facing this way, that's why, generally speaking, the players are set up that sort of position. But the beauty about this is he hits it in this area, which taps it there, and you can see definitely the running pattern of great set play by Noah Anderson, the Gold Coast Suns. Yes, if Darcy Cameron wins this, Noah Anderson would have been exposed because he was let free. But this is the risk you run when it gets late near games. You have these set plays, do the education on this sorts of stuff, and it's just wonderfully set up. Tap over the back, away he goes. So it's just really well set up. And then you've got Flanders coming back as a sweeper. So you've got the protection. As I said before, if you have a sweeper that goes, you've got to make sure that that's filled. You can't leave that area exposed. So good protection there from Flanders. That's why it was a good set play. and then we know the result. So he stood up as a leader, a captain of the club, stood up and was able to hit scoreboard pressure. This is a great chase. So they'll come in Collingwood. They were for the entire last quarter. They were coming. This just to put your head down and then get a fingertip on it out in the full. So great desperation there from Matt Rowell. This was another important part too. So Nick Daicos gets a free kick and he's outside forward 50. What I liked about this is that even though they're upset, they were both upset about this decision, even Matt Rowell, who was on the mark, they reacted. Look, they're still talking, the umpire arguing, he's not going to change the decision, but they knew straight away that he was going to play on. Coverage, Matt Rowell comes off straight away, knows he plays on, because that's what he likes to do, but they covered it really, really, really good. So they were switched on. Even though they were upset of the decision, they were switched on the fact that they know that Nick Daicos, particularly when it's outside the arc, likes to play on. And they were onto it. Forced him to make a hand pass. Then they come across and force this rush kick for a point. So really good. The ability to be upset but then switch back on to actually then create, because that could have easily resulted in a goal then. Awesome effort from Matt Rowell. So intercept here from Crisp, but goes to do the fend off, but just holds on for dear life. Great tackle, holding the ball. This here from McAndrew. So they're coming hard, Collingwood. They're pushing inside forward 50. At one stage it was 8-0 inside forward 50s in favour of Collingwood. So they were coming. They were running aggressively from behind. They were using the ball extremely well. Bodie Ewlands gets himself out of position. It's McAndrew on 2 Collingwood players. Bang. Great spoil. McStay and Elliott, both good, very, very good players. Great spoil for McAndrew. Then there's the last one. So they're trying to create space here once again, Collingwood. They're trying to have a wraparound. Still clearing the space. Still got space available there to hit to. Here it comes here. Comes through, and then it's just ability to come off and shut down. So Powell, Rioli from behind, Closey comes in, closes the gap, pardon the punt, holding the ball. Very crucial moment of the game. Great, the ability to come off and support their teammates. So there you go, the critical moments that unfolded in that last quarter. What an outstanding game it was. It was finals footy, a lot of one-on-ones. But what I love from that game is what the Suns did in the first half was outstanding against the premier side of the competition. That takes a lot of effort to do it for 4 quarters. The front on and the back and pressure from behind. So Collingwood knew that, but for them to flick the switch and then for them to what they did in the second half just shows the quality of that side. But both those sides are, one's certainly heading into finals footy, but that was finals footy atmosphere last night. It was awesome to watch.